Eric and I on video in the worst clothing we
Who cares?
ever wear.
Who cares?
He's going to edit it, so it's only from here out.
Yeah.
Right?
Hey there. So I hope you like this upcoming interview. It's with two personal friends of mine, Eric and Ashley, who we met. They were the first couple we met after we moved here to Payson. So they're now on the board of directors for the HeyPayson.com and helping to shape the future of HeyPayson.com and the direction that we're taking. So this is, they were very hard to narrow down, to nail down for an interview. So it just happened to be, I was invited to their house for dinner and I decided to break out the camera and the microphones and just have a casual conversation. So what you're gonna see here is a compilation of me trying to interview them a little bit. I'm gonna cut and paste and splice into the different parts of the video so that way it's not so long, but hope you enjoy. Here we go. Hey Payson Stranger, welcome to the Vlog podcast, powered by HeyPayson.com. I'm your host, Robert Starkey, and I'm on a mission to meet people who make Payson tick. From shop owners to event organizers, from new faces to homegrown legends. I'm bringing you the real stories from right here in our own backyard. We're more than just interviews. HeyPayson.com is your go-to for everything local. Shop small, stay in the loop on events, find your next job right here in town. If it's happening in Payson, it's happening on HeyPayson.com. Let's hit the road. You never know who you'll meet next.
Historically, have had
I paused it for a second.
2 to 3 parties every year. And when we talk party, we mean bands and comedians. And so a year and a half on the road and no parties is...
Boring!
It wasn't boring. I mean, we saw the world, but it's a little hard to... So we're very excited about a place that can accommodate gatherings. Anyway.
You guys have a lot of good memories. So now you're ready to make some in Payson?
Yeah.
So you've met some people. You met us, Jamie and I. And you met Kyle and Tiffany. And you met Bill, the karaoke guy. And you met a couple other people, right?
His wife, Deb. Lovely lady. Beautiful. Kyle's sister. Almost all the neighbors.
Yeah, all our neighbors around here.
Beautiful people.
Even the poor guy up the street can't remember my name, and he's stopping at the next door neighbor's house. Hey, what's the guy's name next door?
No.
That's cute.
He was out there today talking to Larry that lives next door. He's like, hey, what's the guy's name? It's Eric. And
I'll make you guys a sign that has your names on the front of it so
right?
you can hang it.
It would be helpful.
I
actually think we have
one. I was standing in the garage and I heard him.
I probably don't need one.
And I walked out and I waved at him. I says, it's okay. I can't remember your name either.
Through Arizona.
Through
Tucson.
We were.
There's our bat.
Batman.
I'm just saying we have a bat. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
There's
our bat.
There
Yep.
Well, I wonder if he's in the
bat box. I'm sorry, I totally interrupted you. But
when they put the net poles up, I'm going to put our bat box on the net pole.
I'm excited about the bats.
Squirrel.
It just means no mosquitoes.
No.
There you go.
A little bit of wine. She's done.
Yeah, squirrel.
Yeah.
Bunny rabbit.
Anyhow, so Brian, who runs the golf course.
Is it Brian or Brad or
Brad?
I don't know.
Brian?
Brad, I think.
Brad or Bryant?
Brad. No, it's Brad.
Thank you.
He drives by here every day.
In his golf
right? It's like, hey, how you doing?
Hopefully it's not the same day as
Oh
that
no,
wedding.
that's wrong. Ignore what I just sent you. Pretend I didn't send that to you.
See, kids, this is what happens when you drink alcohol.
Yeah.
You drunk?
When you drink alcohol.
So you've been here for how long?
Since
In Payson.
December, right?
Since middle of December.
Middle of December.
I got here in time for Christmas. I told Jamie, I said, I'm going to drive you up and then I'm going to have to go back. I have to work like 7 more days and then I get to come back after I'm done. So we came up for Christmas and then I ended up getting a message from the condos that I worked for and they said, if you don't want to come back, we understand. We will pay you out for the rest of the year. Don't worry about it. You're good. So how long have you guys been here? Let's go back a little bit here.
So we bought the house February 14th. But we were already here the week before, but we were camping over at Payson Campground. But
So prior to the purchase of the house, I had met you prior to that, right? Or was that already in the works? That was kind of already in the works then.
thinking, when did we actually go to dinner that very first time? I think we already had the house.
Yeah.
We already had the house when we
Because
went.
you were committed to staying here, obviously.
Yeah. No, I think when I realized that we all had a lot in common, and we went to dinner, I think we had already been in the house maybe a week or so. I think it was probably early March.
Yeah.
It was before the birthdays.
Right, of course.
So it would have been the end of February.
Yeah.
Because you and Jamie had the same birthday. So it was probably the end of February because it was before their birthdays.
Survey said.
So we met at El Rodeo, and that was the best meal we've had. That was awesome. I love that
It
place.
was fun. It was a good time.
Yeah.
It's good to, and everybody's looking to find people, right?
Yeah.
Connect with people.
So our connection obviously was that we have a lot in common with our, I can never say that word, philanthropy, our giving back to the community that we live in and such. So for me, I was looking for donating my DJ services, and that's what you saw.
I saw you donating, but then I saw the music. I'm like, this guy's into music. He's obviously into music. We saw that you had gone camping. We camp. So I'm like, I think we actually might have enough in common that these people might be our kind of cup of tea. So.
Yeah. So we met there. We've been to Oxbow. We've been to it's a sushi bar. Oh my gosh,
Midtown.
sushi.
Oh yeah, the sushi. Sushi.
Yeah.
Midtown.
We got to do our own.
For
Yep.
the
Midtown for the
Sweethearts
Yep.
of the Roadhouse.
Yep.
Where this guy, by the way, this guy can line dance.
Oh geez. Yeah, it was. And so
So you line dance.
the one and only dance I can do is Copperhead Road. But I took Jamie into our bedroom and
I don't need to hear this.
And I said, we should learn some line dancing stuff. And I'm like, let's just pull up a song. Let's learn how to. So we looked up like line dancing on YouTube, and Copperhead Road was the one. And we were like, all right, let's watch this.
So Copperhead Road's is great.
So we practiced from our bedroom to the point where I memorized it now. And the thing that pisses me off the most is when somebody is so good at dancing that they turn around, they flip what they're doing, and they screw you all up because they know some fancy way of doing it, and you're like, no, just do it normal. You lost me now. So you're involved with Winter, and she's doing
She's the hiking. She got the hiking.
yeah. Well, that was an interesting story how we met her. Remember, we saw her in her like 80s attire at the Oxbow in her 80s attire.
80s night.
Was that may have only been like our third time going out together?
Yeah, between us, yeah. So we went to
She thought you
Oxbow.
were trying to pick her up.
Yeah, so we all I gotta tell the story now. So we all were at the table talking about, well, what do you think she does? Trying to guess what her career path was.
There was no question. She was a dancer.
But what type of dancer was? Sorry, Winter, if you watch this later. But you guys were like, hey, somebody go out there and get her, bring her back. So I did. I volunteered because I'm a people person
you were the
anyways.
sucker.
Yeah, so I walked up to her and I was like, hey, I said, my friends and I want you to come sit down and talk with us for a minute. She's like, no, I'm good. I'm like, let me give you context. It's my wife and our friends, Eric and Ashley. And she goes, oh, okay, I'll come over then. So then she came over and walking over, I'm like, what's your name? She goes, Winter. I said, great, I can introduce you to everybody. So I'm like, Winter, this is Jamie and Ashley and Eric and everybody, this is Winter. And so we sat down with her and we had the longest conversation. So what started off with just somebody dancing on the dance floor turned out to be a hiking person. And what is the name of the nonprofit she works for?
She's supporting. I don't want to say she works for it, but she's
Okay, supporting, yeah.
The
Warming center.
warming center.
Warming Center.
Yeah, she's got the upcoming event that you're going to DJ.
Yeah.
And it's the first week of June where everybody's going to work out and earn money for the warming center. And I mean, it's great. Working out is amazing, right?
Can I just write the check? Because the whole working out part, you know.
You can write the check.
You
She
would
can
write
do the working
check.
out.
I want to. So it's not going to happen because we're not going to be in town, unfortunately.
So I'll just write the
But we'll
check,
write
and,
the check,
and Winter can work out for me.
That's right. She can do the double down
Got
on
that?
the workout.
Good.
But
Yeah,
she's pretty amazing. So she organizes all these fabulous hikes. Some of them include kayaking. Some of them include rivers. Lots of them include waterfalls. Some of them I'm not up for, but other people are up for, and some of them I'm totally up for.
Yeah.
So she almost.
So you want to get back to the community, and so you're kind of partnering with Winter for that part of it. Are you involved or looked into any other nonprofits?
Yep, I'm a member of the DAR. I haven't been able to attend the meetings yet, but I have transferred.
The which one?
Daughters of the American Revolution.
Okay.
I've transferred my California to the local group. I haven't been able to attend. I'm hoping to get to the May meeting before we leave on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
And that is all about history and American supporting learning of history in schools and the wreaths on the graves and the veterans support. So I'm very excited about getting involved in that. I haven't gotten involved in it yet, but I have been historically involved in that. And then, of course, I've got, ideas of where I want to give to. Warming Center is one of them. I'm excited about the Warming Center. I've run a Feed the Hungry program where I used to be for 8 years. I think I ran it. And I am very excited to get involved here. But, part of the problem we've got is that we got the house in February. We've been moving in ever since. We're leaving on vacation at the end of May. So we don't want to join too much before we go.
Right.
But the second we get back, I think we're ready to dig in and get real involved because it's all about, it's the reason we met.
Yeah.
It's all about giving back and
I'm looking forward to our partnership together to do so.
The cleaning up. If we had not been in the middle of moving, the cleanuppayson.org is just gigantic.
Yeah,
I love that group.
We were packing the shed, and then we had to unpack it.
Yeah, and then
we're getting a new
bring it
shed.
Right, moving.
But
Moving it.
we were going to go out and
Do the cleanup.org.
load
I
the
love it.
trailer,
Payson Cleanup.
and I got to talk to that guy about it. It's like, dude, next time, just let me know where the bags are. I'll go pick them up, and I'll take them down to
Yeah.
And
the
we'll
dump
start
for
doing
you.
it. Very excited about that kind of stuff because that's the stuff that spending a huge amount of time organizing something. I appreciate everybody who does it. I've done it. I know it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
You show up, do the job. I'm in a lot of the time for that kind of thing. We used to be in a lot of committees that, you spend a year planning an event and we know how hard it is.
Yeah.
But we're I think at this point in our life, we're a lot of, tell me where to show up and I'm in. I know everybody wants the people who organize it and I'm willing to organize some stuff, but.
Just being on a committee. If somebody's got the time, they don't have to be the leader, but the leader needs a lot of fingers and hands and stuff in it. So every little bit you can give.
The Music Brings Hope that we did back in California.
It's a year.
That's a year-long
planning. And we've done 6 of them.
But a lot of the people that were involved in it were retired.
Mm-hmm.
So they had all day to go collect the donations and all that kind of stuff.
Put out flyers.
So the people who had jobs Monday through Friday
it's a little hard.
were there event day.
Right.
Saturday morning they were there. They were unloading.
But
tables.
that's just as valuable, honestly.
Absolutely.
They need the people the day of. That's critical. You have to have people day of. If everybody got burned out just putting out flyers and collecting donations and didn't show up day of, you wouldn't have an event.
Right.
No, and you need the people who set up, and then that group is probably not people who are tearing down. Some of us did, of course, both. But,
and then you got your overachievers to do everything.
Well, you got to have people who are there the whole time.
Yeah.
Who are the owners.
That's the person that committee chairs. Usually, they're there the whole time.
One of our super good friends chaired it for years. Our daughter chaired it last year. Chaired it, and she had a great job. Her and she did a co-chair because she had a brand new career going at the same time, so she had to co-chair it. And what a great event! We still raised
$25,000.
That was the
25.
music.
Yeah,
Yeah.
$25,000 or $30,000, and it was a little less than they had done in previous years. But we lost our main chair, and it was kind of everybody doing everything on the fly. But anyway,
What do you think would be a good nonprofit or a service to Payson?
you've heard my idea
Okay, tell your idea.
that I want to do, but I don't. So
We're gonna make Ashley's idea come to real.
no, you know what? There's so many nonprofits that are so valuable in town. I don't know that I want to add one, but I have this idea of one. So I used to work with a company in Wisconsin who had the power of 100 women, and it's super easy. 100 women over a year commit to $100. Now you can raise that at $10 a month. You can just write a check for $100, whatever you want to do. But the power of 100 women is about getting 100 women to donate $100 for one night. Any nonprofit in town, it's got to be a nonprofit, any nonprofit in town can submit a request to, hey, we want to be the recipient
Right.
of this money.
Right.
100 women, $100, $10,000. And one night, you narrow it down to the top 3 groups you want to come in. They present at this big event, one night, one dinner, present, everybody votes. That night, checks are handed, $10,000 check is given to the group. Super easy to achieve. And you just got to get 100 women who have $100 who want to make a difference to a group. So there's so many nonprofits in town, though, that you and I talked about this early on. I think it has a chance because there's so many groups that $10,000 could make such a difference to.
Right.
Picture the warming center,
Yeah,
picture
yeah,
any of them.
yeah.
And they're all valuable. I don't want to take anything away from any of them. But everybody's grabbing for that dollar, and I don't know if adding another group is right, or if that would be the right answer to help those groups that are vying for those dollars. I don't know yet. But it's not a hard group to get going, and it's one night, one event. And usually you can get 100 women to get together for one night, one event. So, anyways,
So we got one idea. What's yours?
I think
That's
we
mine.
could do the Music Brings Hope here.
you could, yep.
So what is the concept of Music Brings Hope?
Well, you're selling tickets for the event is live music, and it's different styles of bands, dinner, and you have auction
And raffles
for,
and all that stuff.
and raffles
All
and
the normal
stuff,
stuff.
to
Fundraise.
fundraise, and then it pick some place for. We were doing it for Catholic Charities of Riverside and San Bernardino
Sure.
County.
Great group.
And like I said, we were raising $20,000 to $30,000,
The highest year was 45,000.
45,000 every single year for 6 years. And I think that would go over here.
It wouldn't go over as big because it's not Riverside, San Bernardino County. I mean, there's hundreds of thousands of people there. But at some level, you can raise enough money to
I'll be
make
willing
a big.
to bet we could raise the same amount of money here.
Maybe.
So my question with that, I'm going to just play devil's advocate for a second. What bands are playing? And is it Kyle and Tiffany doing every single vocal and band and stuff? Are they like in every
No,
band
because
that
it would
plays?
have to be. We had.
I love those guys.
We had a country band.
Yeah.
We had a jazz
We
band.
had a jazz band.
We had a blues band.
We had a blues
Do we
band.
have that? Have you met those people already? And
They're already here.
Oh, yeah.
Payson?
This,
Oh yeah, there's plenty of bands around here.
there's plenty of music here.
There's
Alright.
plenty of people who would
And a
put together a band just
for
that event.
Nice, and
Yeah.
you offer up a very nice dinner. You offer up a very nice venue. I mean, you got to have a decent.
what's a nice venue that you would pick
So
out
we
here?
had it at a garden that was donated. A beautiful garden.
These people owned this piece of property that
It was gorgeous. Gorgeous.
Part of the property was a sculpture garden, and the guy who owned the place built the sculptures, and he would do tours. People loved to do that.
But there's plenty of venues here in town.
Yeah,
that
so we're
would be similar.
focusing here.
I mean, you picture. I mean, I don't want to throw any names out, but there's venues up in Pine and stuff that are very beautiful gardens, wineries,
Right,
that kind of thing.
sure.
You're really looking for a nice venue.
Okay.
And you offer up a dinner. We got dinner. We paid for the dinner, and then sold it obviously. But anyway,
The only thing that was paid for was
the catering, the food
catering,
itself.
the food catering,
And it was
Right.
discounted, of
And-
course.
Yeah, cost of services.
Cost of services.
food.
and the table rentals, because you got to have. We had 250 people,
Don't get into
So
too much
get out
detail.
of
It
that.
doesn't matter. But
but everything else was donated.
all
Yeah.
the bands
Yeah.
donated.
All the bands played for
light,
free.
sound,
Lighting and sound,
band.
staging
Good,
was all
good,
free.
good. Okay.
Anyway,
know.
there's so many opportunities to raise.
So you got that idea. You've got that idea. I'd like to challenge both of you guys to put it into motion at least one time.
I'd love to. It's just I simply have to build the 503c charter. and
Here's
get
my
it done,
here's my
so.
challenge to myself, and I've done it once, and I think it would be cool to do it again. Would be, and I don't know about Payson. I've never done it here, but in Havasu, I did a luau, authentic Hawaiian luau with like real decorations and real Hawaiian dancers, and we did a pig roast and the whole 9 yards. I think it'd be,
And
You are in on the pig roast.
I think it would be cool. I mean, we sold tickets, and the tickets were $20 for standard table and $40 for VIP. $40 for VIP got you first through the line for food, got you a private picture with the dancers after they were done doing their performance. But we did a nighttime performance. They did fire dancing. They did the different styles of whatnot. And I'm sure I could probably find that group once again and bring them out to Payson. But I did a luau, and I think for the fundraiser we did was for United Way. And
I think there's, what the question is there opportunity? It's a smallish community. Is there the opportunity and the place for it? I don't know. There's so much going on all the time for fundraising, and everybody needs a fundraising.
That guy's working his tail off to make sure this fundraiser happens.
I'm looking forward to putting together and working with Charmco's Farmhouse Pizza to put together the I don't have a name for it yet, like food trucks in the park or something like that.
I was very excited to see your post on that, to see how it would work.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
So I met with him when I was driving down the street, and like I've told you before, he lives right down the street from me. So I was headed home, and I saw some heads bobbing around outside by a trailer thing. I called him. I said, "Hey, are you home right now?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Are you out front?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm working on a trailer thing." I said, "Great, I'm going to stop by real quick." He's like, "Okay." So I pull over next to his house and get out and met up with him, and I'm like, "So here's the deal." I said, "Is there any events that happen in Payson that are just food truck related?" He's like, "It's like a fiddle event with they get invited, the food trucks get invited to that, but that's about it."
I don't know. The Christmas thing had food trucks. I don't know about
This
that.
event would not be attached to anything else.
Not a holiday
This
event.
would
This
just
is
be
just
a
an
strictly for the food truck vendors.
Oh.
So I said, this idea was inspired by a commercial running on the TV right now, where they cut in this scene of this two couples, and they're getting their food and their drinks in the food truck, and they walk off, and as the video pans out, the screen pans out, you see several food trucks, and you see people with their little picnic areas, and then you see those two couples sitting down in their blanket out in the park eating the food that they just bought, and that's what I'm like, why not? So I told him, I said, here's the deal. Here's what I want you to do. Because the better time to do it based on your business and the weather and all that good stuff. The best time to do it. And all the other truck vendors and stuff because you've been here in Payson longer. So I want to task you with two challenges, two tasks. 1 month from now, I'll follow up with you. We'll compare notes. If you get the date range locked in and the vendors list locked in, I'll work on looking up permits and I think Green Valley Park would be a great place to do it. But pretty much promote an outdoor day of, come out and have your dinner, bring your blanket, set up, support the food trucks and stuff like that, and see the range of food that's available through the different food trucks. And
you got Green Valley Park, and you've got the new park too.
A food truck rally.
the food truck rally. There you go, food truck rally.
Food truck rally.
Okay.
Not only do they have to cook, they have to know how to drive because it's a rally.
I like the idea. And everybody loves a food truck, right? I mean, who doesn't love a food truck?
Yeah.
They've got the one that's over at the antique store when you first come to town.
It's got a knife logo in it. I've seen that too.
Oh my gosh, the one that we drove by on the way to your house.
Yeah.
That smelled so good.
Oh yeah.
Asada.
Yeah, when you first come down the hill, right in the beginning of town.
It's only open like one day a week.
Yeah, it's not open much, but it's
it smelled so good. We'd eaten dinner. We're going to your house
to eat to
have dinner.
And
we were going to their house to have dinner, and I'm like, no, just pull over here. We're gonna eat. I'll call Robert and tell him, hey, just whatever you're gonna cook, forget it. Come over here.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
I don't know how many food trucks there are up here, though.
I don't know, but I figured, if we're starting to target pine and strawberry and stuff, who knows how many trucks might be out there that could come down and
or even all the way out to Heber and Overgard.
Going that way or going towards going down in towards Fountain Hills. Fountain Hills have you seen their park? Oh my gosh, it's huge. And they had a craft fair one day, and we went down there, rows and rows of vendors selling. Oh my gosh, it was so awesome.
And you couldn't get through it all.
We couldn't get through it all. We were like, this is a 2 or 3 day event.
That's like the SWAT meet at the Honolulu Arena.
Yeah, we didn't get through it.
The football stadium where they used to do the NFL All-Star game.
Yeah.
Every week
couldn't get through it.
They have a SWAT meet.
Couldn't get through.
Completely surrounds the thing.
Whole stadium.
So you're walking a row,
and then a row, and then
a row, and about the 5th row, we're like, no, we're done.
Yeah.
We've been here for 7 hours.
Yeah.
So we haven't spent much time in. So every community has a name for something, and I love it. So we used to have a cabin in Idlewild, and we were on the hill. Now, we were clearly on a mountain. We're at the same elevation, right?
Okay.
So we were on the hill. So up here, you're in Payson, but everybody's down in the valley. And I'm like, the valley? It's Phoenix. It's
right.
I don't know. I don't know why you call it, but it's the valley.
It's the valley.
So, and it's the uphill, downhill, and the mountain, and are you on the valley? Anyway, we're having a fun kind of. We haven't spent any time down in the valley. So you guys were telling us about your adventure down.
We did the thing in Phoenix before the baseball game, the little craft thing.
We did.
That neighborhood, a street has a little craft fair.
It was fun,
and they raise money for the local halfway house.
It was good.
It was cool.
Anyway, we haven't spent any time in the
almost all of the residents make some sort of craft, which I thought was interesting.
We bought some.
You bought a saw.
Stuff.
We bought our saw.
No, that was at the Elks. We did
I know.
Our saw. I love my saw.
I got that.
It's right over there. It hasn't hung up yet.
Did you see you were in the picture in the video?
Yes, I saw the video. I don't know. It took us
where we spent a week parked in a cow pasture with the nicest cows in the whole world. I think we're so sweet. They'd come by every morning and say hi.
We
you sure didn't say moo?
No, they actually said moo.
The first morning, I opened up the blinds in the trailer. I look out. There's a cow literally standing, looking in the window at me, and I went, "Hi."
Got milk?
He was like, "Yeah, peace out, dude," and started to walk away. And then I realized there were like 10 more of them following them away. I'm like,
so we have a Hey Payson meetup opportunity. Something to bring some recognition to the brand.
I think it's
needed. And the idea just started with us sitting inside of Oxbow going, wish there's a website where like you find out what's playing tonight, because
they put it in the newspaper, and half of the actual stuff that's going on doesn't get there because the guys in the band don't don't know to put it there,
if you're not in every bars or gathering places, you know, the Elks, the Midtown, the whatever. If you're not in every place, you don't hear what's going on.
Right.
And then you happen to, like, Tiffany is good about telling us when they're playing.
And you found all those flyers. You find the flyers at...
That was at the thrift store, the new thrift store.
Okay.
They had them all up on the window.
Yeah.
So through that, I've added several events from there. I've even met one of the guys that does the marketing stuff for them. So I'd like to interview him. Good. And between the two marketing guys that make a lot of these flyers, I've told both of them, if you guys are making flyers for these events, create an account, add your event, add the flyer, and like it's free promotion.
Every time we go into the Crosswinds restaurant at the airport, I check the bulletin board to see if there's anything new up there.
Yeah.
No, it's hard to know everything that's going on when
it's
not in the newspaper.
Well, the casino has their own website. The bars have their own website.
A lot of the bars don't even have websites. I mean,
they're just doing it on Facebook.
There is a bar in town who hasn't updated their website since 2013.
Yeah.
So
I bet you they're going to sell it soon.
I won't name it, but
well, so that's where Hey Payson came into the vision. Was like I just overnight, like we didn't even write. We talked about it, and that was it. And then from there, that night or the next night,
I didn't realize that. Really?
The next night after that, yeah, I was like, you know what? I'm going to create an event calendar. If I'm going to create an event calendar, I might as well create a job board listing, and I might as well create a shop local. And the mind just kept going that night. And then next note, it's like
boards. So there's constantly questions about jobs.
Yeah.
Where are the jobs in town?
Yeah.
Who's got jobs? Who's got openings? Are their openings actually real? Blah blah blah. And I keep seeing a lot of job openings, so I'm hoping.
We'll see tomorrow's interview. You know, I'll get that out of the way.
Mackey's is pretty popular.
Mackey's is super popular.
Every time we've been in there, it's been full. So
yeah.
And good food. We've been happy there.
I was the idiot today, I'll admit on camera. I went to their front door thinking it was Monday. And I get up there to the front door and it says Tuesday through whatever, closed Mondays. And I'm like, there's a sign that's lit up that says open. And then they got a sign on the door that I'm thinking says closed. But yet there's employees in there. And the lady's looking at me from the hostess stand. She's looking at me and I said,
hey, are you coming in or what?
Yeah, I'm like, hold on. I'm like, can I borrow a minute of your time was what I was trying to tell her. She took that as, she told me, I took that as you have just you. And
she had a table for one.
So I walked in the door and I'm like, you have conflicting signs. And she's like, what are you talking about? I said, well, this sign says you're open over here. This sign says you guys are closed. And she goes, what? So I take her to the front door and we're looking at it. And I'm like, yeah, it says closed on Mondays. She goes, today's Tuesday.
Hey, at least she didn't say dummy afterwards.
I did.
Eric and I on video in the worst clothing we
Who cares?
ever wear.
Who cares?
He's going to edit it, so it's only from here.
Yeah.
Right?
Uh-oh.
Well, was that a bird or a moth?
That's a moth.
It's a moth.
Or a bat?
No, it's a moth.
It's a moth. But it's gigantic.
It is huge.
Of course, they make moths big. Mothra!
It's
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
no, they
seen
make
this
moths
movie.
up here.
Whoop, there it is, dive bomb you.
They make them big up here in the mountains.
I've seen this movie.
So
It's like the hummingbird today. We were in the shop. We were in the shop earlier, and a hummingbird came in the door and started flying at the light.
Oh my
I
gosh.
just off to make it go away.
it's still going around.
It is. It's right here.
I told you, I'm going to get a zapper. I'm going to get a zapper.
Zapper. No, you can't kill him. You can't see it on camera.
It's bad mojo. I think I am going to shut the lights out.
So before we do that, like, what would be your final advice to anybody who's moving to Payson?
Connect.
Okay, I'm for that.
Go to heypayson.com.
I love that answer even better.
I like that answer.
You win. All right, turn off the lights. Well, what do you guys think of the video? Hope you liked it. If you're interested in meeting Eric and Ashley, they're great people. Reach out to them. You can use the info@heypayson.com email address. make a subject line something to the effect of, I'd like to meet Eric and Ashley, and we'll pass your information over to them and they can reach out to you. All right. Thank you so much for joining us at heypayson.com. Until next time, we'll see you again soon.